everyone, it's Beth from SweetHearts and I'm here today with my hair model Hannah. So Hannah's got lovely long hair, so if I was going to do an updo in Hannah's hair, usually you're going to have to use a lot of spray to get that back comb in, curl all the hair first before you start pinning it. So I am going to show you today our new SweetHearts Volumiser. Now what this volumizer does is it's going to create the back comb so easily, but more than that, I can put Hannah's hair up without curling it, which is going to save me a lot of time. So let's get going. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to be using our new hot tool. So it's got very, very small ridges in the plates, and what that's going to do is put tiny indentations in the hair, and that gives up to 3 times the volume. And this volume actually lasts for up to 5 days. Okay, so all I'm doing is just very gently and quite quickly, really. You don't need to apply a lot of heat to the hair. Little indentations all the way to the end, and this is going to give, like I say, up to 3 times the volume to the hair. As you brush the hair out and work with the hair, the little indentations become less and less noticeable. Okay guys, so I have finished volumizing Hannah's hair, and the more I'm brushing it and moving it, the more those indentations are coming out, but the thickness, the difference in the hair is unbelievable. And this hair now is so workable to braid or back comb or pin or whatever we want to do. It just kind of behaves itself. So I'm going to start the style now. So I've got a mirror sort of directly in front of me and Hannah loves just some little bits down at the front. So whenever you do this style, always bring those bits down to start with, and make sure if it's on yourself that you're happy, or if you're doing it on somebody else that they like the bits that you've got down. And Hannah always likes 2 bits from the front. I will turn her around in a minute so you can see. Okay, so I've just pulled these bits down. Don't worry if they're not sitting exactly as you'd like, because we will be putting the straightener or straightening iron on them, and some people like them quite straight or a little bit of a curl, so we'll have a look when we finish and see what we think. So next up is going to be the back comb. Okay, so I've just asked Hannah just to tip her head back. So Hannah likes her back comb to come straight from the front hairline there. She doesn't like to keep the part. So that's what I'm doing for her now. So you'll just take a small piece of hair. And another little tip is when you back comb in these first few sections, is rather than placing the hair back like that, you want to just bring that hair forward, okay? And that's going to give you a nice rounded back comb when you're finished. And the great thing about these volumizer is you don't need any spray. You can if you want to, it's no problem, but if you didn't want to use spray, you don't want the stickiness, you want it to brush out really easy later on, then don't put any spray in, you don't need it. Later on I might just put a little bit over the top just to make sure it's all beautiful and smooth, but for this bit now I'm not going to use any. So Hannah likes quite a bit of volume, so you kind of have to gauge it. One thing I will say about back comb is it's quite easy to brush down, so I always tend to go a little bit too high, and then I can always brush it and bring it down again.
You didn't need a chignon for this, did we?
No, it's dead easy, this style is. This style works on like shoulder length hair. As long as the shoulder length hair hasn't been long hair that's just been cut.
Yeah.
You know, so it hasn't got that wedge. So kind of fluffy, like my hair. And it works on people with hair right the way down to the bum. And actually, when you finish the style, it looks the same.
Yeah.
So if you wanted all your bridesmaids looking really uniform, it's actually a really good one, because it doesn't matter if there's loads of hair or not much hair, you can kind of get the style looking identical. Okay, so I'm ready to flip this hair back over so I can see Hannah again. She's kind of buried underneath all her hair. So as you can see, really, really easily we've created loads and loads of volume. So now what you'll do is you'll get your comb or brush and just really gently start to smooth out this top layer. Kind of be gentle over the top, although because the hair's so light, can you see that? It kind of does whatever you tell it to do, so you don't have to worry too much, but I still would be quite gentle. So once I've got that top layer nice and smooth, I'm going to pin this hair. And the way I'm going to do that is just by twisting that hair and then just using a grip to push up. But don't worry if you sort of lose your handle on that hair, because with using the volumizer you can more or less let it go and pick it back up again. That is how workable the hair becomes. And then I'm just going to get this grip, guys, and just push that up there. Use another one. There we go. Okay, next I'm just going to leave out this section of hair here, and then I'm going to come round to the back and I'm going to do 3 separate braids now. So you're going to section the hair off. And now you'll just do a 3-strand braid, okay? So not too tight now, not too loose, but not too tight. And when you get about 5 or 6 stitches down, I want you to just stop and just start pulling this braid out. So take it from the edge and start to pull. And we're going to do the same with the other 2 slices of hair. Okay guys, so I've pulled out the 3 braids, and now what you've got to do is just start pinning them. So there's no real sort of science to this. It's just basically you deciding where is best to put that hair. So I'm going to take the middle one first, and I kind of want that whole section laying across the back there. So I'll take a pin off Hannah, and I'll literally just get that pin and push it into the hair to start placing this strand where I want it to go. Okay guys, so I am happy with how that's looking. You can use a bit of hairspray at this point if you wanted to. And now I'm just going to braid this last bit of hair. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a lace braid and then flow that strand over. You can just do an ordinary 3-strand like we've done at the nape of the neck, or alternatively you could leave a little bit of extra hair here and start this braid from higher up if you wanted to. So I'm just going to do a little 3-strand Dutch braid, lace braid. So I'm taking those strands under, adding in from this right hand side, but adding nothing in from the left. So I'm just adding in, guys, just from this right hand side, because it's the lace braid, not from this left hand side here. And I am just going to be pulling at the very edges of this braid just to create a little bit of volume. And then lastly, we're just going to take this braid and lay it nicely over the back, just the top of this bun area. You can pull these little sections if you want, bringing it over to the left hand side, And then I still like to see a little bit of braid detail going along this bun on the left, and then I just tuck it underneath and pin. Lastly, I'm going to take my straighteners now. So some people like these to be curled. I think Hannah usually likes them straight, don't you, Han?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for Hannah, we'll just keep that nice straightness to them. But by all means, you could just put a little bit of a bend to those strands of hair. Okay guys, so this is my style finish. This is actually one of mine and Hannah's favourite. In fact, when people come to me to get the hair done, this is the style that they ask for the most. So let's do a little bit of a spin round, Han. So I just think it looks really, really pretty. No curl needed either. So it works really, really well if you're short on time. So yeah, I think it's a perfect style for occasions, weddings, proms. I'd love to hear what you think. You could either comment below or you go over onto my Instagram, comment over there, SweetHearts Hair, and I will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.